All right, I think we're good. I think we're live. Hey, everybody, happy Wednesday. Hope y'all are doing well. All right, so who's ready? Who's ready to get started? This is your chance to, for those of you who are new, this is your chance to get on up in here and ask me whatever you want to ask me about. Just be specific with your questions. So you can ask me about your health, your finances, career, and work and relationship, but narrow it down to an actual issue or situation you want clarity on. Don't just say, read me, or I want a reading, or drop the cards. I'm not a tarot reader, so don't ask me to deal with cards. But that's what people do. So narrow down your questions so that I can have a clear understanding of what you're wanting to know. Don't assume that I can read your mind and that I know everything that you are asking me, because I don't. So be specific with your question. If you're asking me about a loved one in spirit, just let me know who you want me to connect to, and I will try to connect to that person and bring through any messages or any information that can help to validate for you that they are still with you. You will get a lot more from me if you get on video with me, just because it's easier to validate or to clarify some things if there's a misunderstanding in how I conveyed or how I tuned in and interpreted something. So if you want to be on video, get your butt over to Instagram. Everybody can go over to Instagram. So on Instagram, that's where I do all the video connections with, and y'all can request to be a guest, and there's a little button at the bottom. It's a little plus inside of a camera. Click that, and then you can request to be a guest on the Instagram live. If you are what else? Try to stay away from general questions, because I just skip over people who are too general. Give me a message or tell me something, or what do you see for my future? Too general. Pass you up, skip. That's what I do. Skip. I don't have time to figure out what the hell you're asking me. I just want you to ask me the question and I'll get to it. I'm very direct and I'm very to the point, but I'm a very loving person. And so I'm here to love and to offer and give to you guys as much as I can, but I don't put up with bullshit. So if you've been sipping on that bullshit Kool-Aid all day, and then you're coming into these lives and you're going to stir some things up, be prepared, because I'm not going to have it. So if you come in here and you're rude or disrespectful to people in the chat, or if you're disrespectful or rude to me, I'm going to look for you after the chat to ban your ass. So just FYI with that, you'll never get an ounce of help from me either. I can't help everybody, because I am one person. So even though even though I try to go through and answer as many people as I can and help you all, I can't answer everybody's questions. So don't expect that everybody will get a reading. If you just want to have time with me and you don't even want to go through the live to do it, and you just want to, you'd rather just schedule some time with me, you can go to my website. Go to my website, fernandomarone.com. Everything that I offer, everything that you need to know is available there. So my timing, my pricing, my availability, it's all there. Also, I have a bunch of free stuff as well. So I have a free psychic development class that I poured my heart and soul into. That's going to be part of, that's going to be kind of like a intro into the book that's coming out in August. So I've got a book that I'm currently in the process of doing, and so that hopefully will be out by August. That's my goal. I also have a podcast. I also have articles that talk about different things. I also have a bunch of other stuff that's free. So go to my website. All of it's there, even if you don't want to buy a service or nothing. You don't have to. It's not there just for that. It's there to all these other things as well. What else? I think that's it. I think that's all I need to tell you. Of course, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook and YouTube, you might get hit by a troll, because in YouTube, especially on Facebook is where it happens mostly. People pop in there and they just start messaging people, and they, I'm drawn to you, my beloved. It's the same people doing the same thing. They'll offer you a accurate reading, or they will offer you a reading, or they will offer you, or they feel like they're drawn to you. That's all bullshit. They're lying to your ass. They're going to con you out of your money. Do not respond. I would just block those people and report them, so that way you can keep yourself from being taken advantage of. What else? As usual, I am not my statements are personal opinions. They're not guaranteed futures. So what I'm giving you is more of an energetic forecast of what's to come, meaning just like the weatherman, I'm paying attention to the details and the variables that I'm picking up on, and I'm making a best guess. That's the prediction. That's an assumption based off of what I'm picking up on. I could misinterpret what I'm seeing. I could also just be wrong, because that happens to psychics. We're not 100% accurate. Whoever came up with that idea is full of it. So we do make mistakes, but we should be better. We should be better at guessing, or we should be better at what we do than just typical guessing. So that's what makes us different. But I try to be as honest and as direct as possible. But it's, of course, like I said, my statements are personal opinions. They are not established futures that will happen. You can always change your future. This is why sometimes I tell people the things that I do, because they have a chance to change it. If they don't change it, that's on them. And also also I am not a licensed medical doctor, counselor, attorney, or law enforcement official. People love to ask me for advice. They should be asking a doctor, should be asking a financial advisor, should be asking a relationship counselor. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything, but what I do know, I try to offer it. But as I said, I'm not a licensed medical doctor, counselor, attorney, or law enforcement official. You can still ask me those kinds of questions, but for legal, medical advice or treatment, you should always consult with a licensed professional. Okay? All right. And for those of you who are already annoyed with me or don't like me, get out of here, because you're wasting your time. You're probably never going to like me. So just get out of here. Don't waste your time. This is who I am. This is how I operate. Okay, guys? I just don't have time for the craziness. All right, guys. I love you all. Here we go. Let's get started. So I'm not going in any particular order, so I'm just going to bounce around here. Hey, Cha-Cha. Hey, Lisa. All right, let's see, bouncing through here. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Mickey. All right, let's see. If I don't understand your question, also, guys, I'm not even stopping to ask. I'm just going to pass it up. So make sure I can understand your question. Like, what do you mean? No general. Sally the girl. Hi, Ferny. I was wondering if my daughter, Jayla, has any messages for me. Thank you. Yeah, first of all, I'm seeing balloons. So that can mean a couple of things. That either means that we're within 30 days of a birthday, forward or backwards, and she's trying to acknowledge that birthday, or you may have released balloons for her, because that's another way of saying that. So it's either one or the other. So that's one. She also keeps, thank you. She also keeps acknowledging, there may be another J name, but it may not be spelled the same way, but she's acknowledging another J name. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another J name that she's trying to acknowledge or make reference to. It's possible she's talking about someone that's with her, but she's acknowledging another J name, so there's a reference to that. She's also showing me the number, I'm seeing the number 9. It's funny because I saw 11 and then I saw 9. And so I'm going to go with the 9. So I want to say that she's acknowledging the month of, 9th is what? September? So September. So the month of September or the 9th of a month. But that's where I would go with that. She's showing me something interesting. She's showing me, I keep seeing something that reminds me of like a carousel. So do you know those old carousels with all the horsies that go around in circles? Don't know if there's a picture of her doing something like that is a funny picture, or you have something that has art on it that has like a carousel or one of those, because I'm seeing something like that and she's showing me something like that as well. She also makes me feel like she messed or touched or may have whispered in your ear. So if you heard something and you thought you were going crazy, it's not. Or if you felt something weird around this area, she's acknowledging that she tried to get your attention with this. Okay. Haley and Loretta Verderosa. That's a long name, girl. Is my Uncle Kevin here for me? Yes. Thank you. He's okay. Interesting. First of all, he's showing me, I don't know if he's showing me chopstick or he's showing me just 2 sticks like a drummer, but I'm seeing something like that. So I don't know if he was a musician and there's something about playing the drums, or if there's something about putting 2 sticks together that he's trying to make reference to, because I was seeing it that way. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. He also keeps acknowledging the 19th. So the 19th of a month may be significant. Reason why I say 19th is because he's showing me my sister's birthday. My sister's birthday is October 19th. And so either he's acknowledging the 19th of a month or October. There's a reference there. He also keeps, thank you. He also keeps acknowledging the J. That's interesting. I keep thinking of like J-Lo, J and then Lo, but I feel like there's like a nickname or there's something he's trying to make reference to. There might be a J something as well, like a J initial, or there's a reference to that he's trying to acknowledge also. He also keeps making reference, thank you. He's doing this. I don't know if y'all have necklaces connected to him, or if there's been something made as kind of like an honor or memorial, but he's making reference to this as well, because he's showing me a necklace also as well. I think you're asking if he's with you, meaning that does your uncle come to be around you or to let you know he's with you? Yes. The answer is yes. He does come around you. He actually comes around you earlier in the morning. So if you ever wake up really early and you don't know why you're awake at that time, and you feel something's in the room or some like someone's been around, that's him. He's just coming around, check, say hi, see how you're doing, and just to kind of make himself known. That may be more about him than it is about you, but still, that's how he's giving it to me. Okay. It's funny because I feel like he just took, I don't know if he took like whenever like you see those sports events and people have those little flags or those little like cloth things and they're like doing this, that's what he's doing. He's got like a cloth thing and he's like doing that in the air. So that's a reference to something as well. Okay. Lisa Kova, my husband would like to know if his parents have any messages for him. Also, does his mom remember the last conversation they had? Thank you. Yes. So the answer to the question to that is yes. She does remember the last conversation. However, I don't know if he had told her something and then somebody else was in the room as well, and she maybe got herself a little confused with things, or if she mixed up who was saying what. But she's almost acknowledging remembering that conversation, but then she's acknowledging somebody else and thinking about somebody else as well. So there's a reference there. Don't know how that situation was towards the end, but she's making reference to that. He also keeps thank you. He also keeps she also keeps acknowledging the 7th or 17th. I want to say let's go with 7. No, let's go with 17. Let's go with 17. The 17th of a month may be significant as well because I'm seeing that 17. I thought it was 7, but I'm thinking this is 17. So there's a reference to that. So she's acknowledging that as well. She has shown me roses. If y'all ever find or... Thank you. Yeah. The way I want to describe it is, when you think of a rose with the stems, but you take out the stem and you just have the bud of the rose, she showed me just the buds of the rose. I don't know if there's a significance to the bud of the rose with her and her remains, or if someone has done some things with just the roses or the tops of the roses, but she's acknowledging something like this. She also thinks she's doing this as well. So there might be a ring reference to her as well that she's trying to acknowledge. There's a baby that she's acknowledging also. So I don't know if y'all know of a new baby coming into the family or if there's an announcement that's been made in the family, but she's almost acknowledging that as well. She's the one that's doing more of the talking, but he is also present as well, but she's just the one that's kind of taking over and trying to communicate those details. Okay. Lindsay Ang G. I think that's how I said it. If I said it incorrectly, please forgive me. Is my fiance's mother near us and seeing her grandchildren? Yes. Here's the thing. I don't know how many children I don't know how many children you have or how many children you're referring to with grandchildren, but she showed me the number 3. So I would say that she's acknowledging the number 3. I'm assuming she's talking about the kids and 3. If I'm misinterpreting that, then it would be January or March or the 3rd of a month, if I'm misinterpreting it. But I'm thinking she was referring to 3. What's interesting is I feel like there's another grandchild that may come into the scene or come into the picture within a couple of years, because she's making also the symbol for baby, but she's making me feel like this may not be right away. So there's an acknowledgement like there's another one. So she's almost like making me feel this way. She showed me the month of January. So January might be significant, or the 1st of a month might be significant as well. She's also shown me 2 little birdies. So there might be a reference to her and the 2 little birds. If y'all have 2 little birds coming around, or 2 little birds kind of acting kind of crazy around y'all, she may be acknowledging the 2 little birds that are coming around. If not, it's 2 figurines that are connected to her that have the 2 birds. Okay. Stop worrying so much. Stop worrying so much. Just she's saying to stop worrying so much. Angsunamun, I hope I said that correctly, but I didn't, please excuse me. How's my new career as a flight attendant going to affect my family life? So I do think that it's going to be a bit of there's a learning curve. I do think that the first 6 months of this might be a little more challenging for you. However, I kind of feel like you might see a lot more benefits from it than you realize or expect. I also think that this may force your family to have to do more for themselves or to have to be more self-sufficient than they have been. So in a way, it may benefit the situation regardless of the learning curve and regardless of the immediate response in the family to it. The way I would describe it is when I left, the first time I moved away from Houston, which was for a relationship, I was kind of running away from stuff. So this was years and years ago, but this was the first time I moved away from Houston, which I think was like in 2005 or 2006. My mom did not want me to go. My sister did not want me to go. People did not want me to leave, but I was ready to just get out of Houston and just like go somewhere else, because I was just kind of over some stuff in my life. So I left, and I felt so much guilt, and I felt so much just bad. I just felt guilty. I just felt awful about it. However, while I was gone, my mom suddenly, for the first time in like 15, 20, 25 years and that I've been with my mom, suddenly she's in a relationship and she has a boyfriend. Like, when the hell did that happen? And my sister also got into a relationship and she became more of an adult. And so a lot of positive changes happened when I was gone. I kind of feel like there's a lot of this that could potentially happen for you as well, where there may actually be some positive changes, not just the tradition, like not just what you would expect in the family because of your time away. Also, I think that 6 months into it, you may also have an opportunity to change the way that you work so that you might have more opportunity to be closer to home, and that way you can have a little more control over your schedule. Okay. I'm Frank Art. I think that's correct. I'm Frank Art. Do you see me having a baby anytime soon? I'm not feeling confident about it right now. 17 months. So I would say I see baby energy around you in about 17 months. Okay, let's go over here. Look, here we go. We got Ifa Sei Baba Awo in Facebook, who's telling everybody that they want to read everybody. More accurate. Message me for the accurate reading. Troll. That's a troll, y'all. So I'm telling y'all need to block and report spam. Sienna H. Hi there. When will I have my first child, and will it be a boy or girl? So you might end up having your first and your second. I'm assuming there hasn't already been attempts or a prior like situation with the baby. But what I'm thinking I'm seeing in my mind is I'm seeing two at the same time. So you're one of the few that I've seen that might actually find yourself pregnant with twins at some point. It may not be right away, but I would say this might come up. That's a lot. Wow. Either twins or triplets, because I'm seeing like multiple babies. I'm like, why am I seeing multiple? I know sometimes the people do like in vitro or something like that, they end up having more than one embryo that they can use, which is possible. It's what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing like more than one. So I'm gonna say there's a likelihood of twins, if not possibly triplets. So you might be prepared for that. And I think that it would be same. I'm gonna say they're all the same sex, or one of them, or the twin. I'm thinking it's twins. Two maybe female. I'm thinking it's girls. When? I'm not seeing this for about 2.5 years. So in about 2.5 years, maybe as far as 3 years, this may be when this starts to show up for you. Okay. Paula, also on YouTube. Hey, Ferny, when do you see pregnancy for me? Within 2 to 3 months. So this might be within the next 2 or 3 months. So be careful. Cynthia Marie, that's a good question. Not a lot of people ask me that. Hi, Fernie. I've always been curious. What's my spirit animal? It's an owl. So I feel like your spirit animal is an owl. You may actually have experiences with owls, so keep an eye out for that. Jean, hi Ferny. Why do I keep seeing 1111? 1111, repeating numbers is a form of alignment. So whenever we start to align to the path that we are supposed to be going down, we usually will see repeating numbers. That's one way that they tell us, like, hey, you're where you're supposed to be going through what you're supposed to be going through, whether it's positive or negative. In this case, what I feel, Jean, is that there's some changes or some things happening within the family that kind of need to happen. And you may have to go against yourself because you might sometimes prefer to be the likable person in the situation, or may prefer for people to think of you in a positive way, and you may have to do some things that are going to force you to kind of come across in a way that you may not be happy about, and others may not be happy about as well. So, but it may be necessary. So there's necessary changes within the family structure or the family dynamics, and you may have to like be the bad guy in an instance. I'll call it bad guy because, again, whenever people don't agree with us or don't like us, we're either evil or possessed or the bad guy. So that's the way I would describe it. But I feel like it's necessary. Okay. Apache. I keep seeing hawks, eagles, or cardinals. Does it mean anything? It actually can mean a couple of things. I wouldn't lump them all in together because I don't feel like they are all meaning the same thing for you. The hawks and the eagles, that means just you focusing on what you're trying to do to achieve your goals and having to course correct a little bit just so that you can essentially give yourself the best chance for success and so that you can soar. Get it? Soar. So fly. So that's what that is referencing. The cardinals has to do with a friend that has passed. So it's like an acquaintance, a coworker, friend. There's a person in spirit that is connected to the cardinal that may have passed. Not that long ago either. This may have been fairly recently or within the last 6 months. Because it feels like a contemporary, like someone that's on the same level. Okay? And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a male because I'm kind of leaning towards the male energy there. Dina, hi Ferny, will my fiance's family make it to our wedding? I believe so. There might be one person that does not make it to the wedding or is not going to be able to make it to the wedding, but I feel like for the most part I do think that they will be able to make it to the wedding. Hides rods. Hi Ferny, do I have a Roman past life? Thanks for all you do. Not Roman, but Greek. So there is I believe you had a past life where you're Greek. So I think it was before the Romans were the Romans, because before the Romans were the Romans, we had the Greek, and they were the more prominent civilization. So I actually think it was Greek. And you might have had more than one lifetime in that time frame. One as a person once as a slave, because they had slaves. So once as a slave, and then once as a person of prominence. So I feel like you actually had an opportunity to experience both sides of the story. Jennifer Solis, is my manager going to change towards me at work, or am I better off transferring to another department? Wanted to quit today, but I didn't. Oh, I know those days, right? I'm done. I'm out of here. This is done. I'm not, yeah. I don't think that the manager is going to change. I think that they have some issues personally. Either they have an issue with you being a female, or they have an issue with your race for some reason. I feel like it's got something to do with something basic. I don't feel like it's like just all these complicated things. So there's something there that it feels off to me with the way that your manager is. With that being said, I feel like you're not the only person that have to deal with this issue or this person. I'm thinking you are going to end up making a change within 2 to 3 months. It's either you make a change, but you'll still be with the same organization, because I don't see you leaving the organization, or your manager's out within 2 to 3 months for some reason. So, but I am seeing a change around that time frame. Patrick, I was hoping for at least 5K after I finish this job. What do you think? It should be more because I'm busting my butt. I'm actually seeing 7,000. So when you were saying 5, I was seeing more 7. So I'm thinking, Patrick, you might actually get the opportunity for 7,000 and not just 5. It's 5. So I'm thinking that you'll end up with just 7,000. Also, there was something else I was going to expand on, and I totally lost the train of thought. I'll just say 7. Yeah, I'll leave it at that because I feel like there was something else I was going to say and I totally forgot. That's okay. 7,000. I feel like you'll end up with 7,000. Okay. Actually, Patrick, this is what you'll get 7,000 for that. Make sure you pay your taxes. That's what I was going to tell you. I always tell people, like, pay your taxes, because you know what? Back in the day, the Romans, they crucified people for 2 reasons. 2 reasons. Sedition, which is trying to overthrow the empire and, trying to go against the emperor, or not paying your taxes. There's 2 reasons that they would crucify your ass. So pay your taxes, because I don't feel like the federal government's any different. Although right now they're kind of backed up in the way that they're handling that. But yeah, Patrick, I think that you'll get 7. And then after that, there's another job that you may start. You might actually start a job before you're done with that one. That may be more in like 8, 9, almost was like 10,000. So there's another big job that's going to come up right after that. So I actually think that you're going to see even another higher paying job right after that. Rodolfo. Hi, Ferny. Our dog Luna just passed away. Can you tell me if she's okay? She is okay. There's 2 other dogs with her. So your dog is with 2 other dogs that I feel are connected. What is she doing now? Does she miss us as much as we miss her? Yeah, I mean, whenever people ask me, like, what is my loved one doing in spirit? It's not like it's a physical place and like we're living a whole new life there. Granted, those are descriptions that I've used in the past, and those are descriptions that they use sometimes when they're coming through, but it's a state of being. It's not so much a physical place, though we will experience it, or the best way to describe it is a physical like place. But the way that I feel, Rodolfo, is that there's 2 other dogs with your dog, and then there's also 5 family members that are there as well. But there's a female that I feel like is above you, would be like a grandmother or like a mother figure that's there, that's with the dog. So they're acknowledging that. The dog is making me feel, thank you. Don't know if y'all have the paw print, or if y'all are planning on getting a paw print in more than one way. I know sometimes people will put it in like clay, but sometimes they put it on like a necklace. But I'm seeing something like this, and I want to put it on a necklace, okay? Also, the dog has jumped in the shower with you. So if you were taking a shower and you felt something really weird or something like splashing, it was the dog. The dog jumped in the shower with you. Okay, let's bring somebody on because it's time. It's time. Oh, let's see. Let's see. All right, let's see. Moving it on, moving it on. Hello, hi,
Hey,
beautiful.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, sweetheart?
Fine. Let me get my
Good.
daughter.
Oh, sure.
Michelle, Ferny, pick me. Come on,
Michelle. Oh, Michelle.
Michelle, she's shy.
Oh, that's okay, Michelle. You don't have to get on camera if you don't want to. If you just want to speak and your mom and be on camera, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, what do you want to ask me, Michelle?
Well, recently I've been seeing a lot of blue jays, and
Hmm.
I don't know if it has to do with anything. Like,
Have you also been having weird dreams lately?
yes,
Have you also been feeling a little more sensitive around people and just kind of wanted to be away from people?
yes, very.
How, are you 16 or 17?
17.
17. I think you're going through a psychic awakening. So I think you're an empath and you probably are having some psychic ability stir up. That's probably the reason for the dream. That's also probably the reason that you're encountering this kind of connection with animals. And animals can represent two things. Animals can represent our connection to spirit, which sometimes they want to let us know they're with us. But whenever we are going through life and we're walking a path where we sometimes feel alone and we need to feel the connection to source or to God, the animals will show up. And I think that that's what's actually happening in this instance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you're having encounters
Yeah.
yeah.
The senior, so how will her last high school year be? She's in cheer.
Yeah. So question, were you wanting to go to New York because of this?
She's been there.
Okay.
She's
Here's what I'm, where did, I keep seeing an event in New York. Do you know if they're doing an event for this in New York?
they haven't said.
No.
Not
Okay.
they
Here's what I'm going to say. Either this experience this year is going to connect you to opportunities out of New York, or you might attend something because of this, because of the program that is going to be based in New York. But I keep seeing New York in my head because I keep seeing the Big Apple. I also feel that the person that's supposed to run the show with cheer is not going to be able to do it for the whole year. And there may be an opportunity to shuffle around and you might get a chance to move into a different role.
Okay.
So be prepared for that because people are going to be caught off guard when that changes.
Wonderful. Oh, great, Fernie. And any messages from my mom and dad?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your mom just had her birthday. Are we within 30 days of a birthday?
What month are we in? June.
We're
No,
in what,
passing,
July?
passing from
Oh,
when my
passing? Okay. Because your mom laughed. No, she said she showed me balloons. Either y'all release balloons for them or there's a birthday within 30 days that they're wanting to acknowledge.
my older sister that took care of
Perfect. Perfect. She wants to wish her happy birthday, so she's acknowledging the birthday for her. So to tell her tell her she's okay. Has your sister been worrying more about her health?
Well, she hasn't said. We will go to Guadalajara in about 2 weeks to visit her for about a month.
Okay. She might have had some things come up and been worried that maybe she's got. Your sister can sometimes get into her head and then she makes herself crazy. So your mom is just saying, like, tell her it's okay or she's okay. She's okay. Now, granted, I think she should follow through with the doctor, but your mom is almost making me feel like to tell her she's going to be okay or she's okay. She's okay.
Right. She did
Okay.
she did get COVID.
Yeah. So I would say, yeah. So there might be some things that she's. Also, your mom is acknowledging. She's funny. The last time that you saw your mom, was your hair shorter?
My hair?
Mm-hmm. Because she's talking about letting the hair grow out, or she likes to let the hair grow out.
It's a hot mess right now. It's in Houston, so you know how that is, hot and humid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. She's acknowledging something about letting the hair grow out and liking the longer hair. So I don't know if you just recently made a change with this and she's acknowledging that, or it's your sister. But she's bringing this up. She also is putting her hand over her mouth. Do you know if you were not there when she passed, or you didn't get a chance to say goodbye? She's acknowledging that. So she's aware of this. She says it's okay. She understands. She also says this is why she paid you a visit. Do you remember having a dream of your mom the week of her passing?
No, not the week of her passing, but I have heard her voice, like when I'm go to the bathroom, get up and go back to bed. She told me that she was okay. She calls me Tita. I'm okay. Estoy bien.
Yeah.
With her younger voice, her younger.
Yeah. Do you remember something like that happening right after her passing? She says she came to visit you right after her passing, and you even thought it was weird. But it wasn't like you hearing her. I would say it's either like a dream or something happened right after that's like paranormal.
Well, she died Christmas Eve, and we usually go with friends. And for whatever reason, I decided to stay home. And then that's when she passed. I normally don't stay home Christmas Eve, and so she did pass on
Do
Christmas
you
Eve.
remember something funny happening with you turning on the tree or not wanting to turn it on and the lights were still on, or they were doing something that they weren't programmed to do? Do you remember something like that happening around that time
Oh
when she
gosh,
passed?
no, I don't.
Wow.
I remember my son and my daughter-in-law coming in to tell me that she had passed away. But when I saw them coming in, it was like they were like, to me, like small children coming in. Like I was like, I had to take a double take. My daughter-in-law and my son looked like 8 and 9-year-old children coming in, and I just looked at them, and then they just told me that she had passed. That was something funny. I don't know.
There's something else. Now, this has to do with light. She's specifically acknowledging light. So either you were home and something was happening with the tree light, or you were laying down, falling asleep, and you thought the sun had come up and opened your eyes thinking that there was sun when you were indoors. There's something about light she's bringing reference to. Now, if y'all just took a picture and there's a weird light in the picture, that's what I would be just like, I would say that would line up. But she said specifically she came to visit you when she passed because she knew you weren't there. And she was trying to let you know that she was okay and that she was with you. Carmen. Is there a Carmen or Carmela name connection?
Her sister.
Got it. She just wants to acknowledge her sister or make her sister still alive?
No.
She's with her sister. So she's with her sister. She just wants to acknowledge her sister.
My God.
Yeah, she's fine. You're welcome.
Thank you. I just want to tell you one of the visits when I was in Guadalajara.
Huh?
I was in the kitchen by myself cooking breakfast, and my sister went to go get menudo. I'm trying to talk fast. I turned around thinking I'm having a private conversation to myself. Should I eat that toast bread? Should I wait for the menudo? Should I eat the toast bread? I turned around and there was like a milky see-through figure, white with brown hair, because I could see the picture frames behind it. And I looked and I looked back and it was gone. And ever since then, I've just like, what was that? Who was that?
Yeah, the house that you were in, did that belong to the grandparents?
No, this is a house my sister bought that she lives in Guadalajara.
Okay. I feel like this is the prior occupants of the house. That's connected to the prior occupants of the house. So whoever lived in that house before then, or I feel like someone passed there. So I feel like what you were seeing was actually the apparition of someone who had passed there, and they were kind of still hanging out. So I think that's what was going on there. Also, you're a little more, you're psychic, so you're more like able to see those things when they come up.
Right. Oh, okay.
Mama.
Is that it?
That's it. I gotta go because they're like bitching me out. Like, Fernanda, what are you doing? You're not here. So, all right, Mama. Y'all take care. Bye, sweetheart.
Oh my.
All right, let's go to somebody else. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm not driving this time.
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What do you want to ask me about?
First and foremost, my dad passed when I was very young. And I used to feel him very heavily when I was younger, and it's kind of faded throughout the years. And I know to a medium, she told me ways to search for him and ask him to show you the signs, and I've done that, and I feel like they're trickling down again, and I don't know if it's me feeling close.
Yeah, it's you. It's you. Here's the thing. It's not that he stopped visiting you or stopped coming around. It's just the fact that as we get older, first of all, as kids or as younger people, we're a lot more open to just paying attention to the stuff around us, and we're more sensitive. As we get older, our head gets filled with worry, concern, and adult problems, so we get more consumed with that. There's a lot less room for them to kind of drop clues or drop that kind of communication in our minds. So it's just you getting older and not being as sensitive as you were when you were younger. I do think your father never stopped coming around you, so I don't think that you have to search for him. You just have to acknowledge and assume that he's present, and then act as if, and you'll get everything will start to trickle in a lot more effectively. Because when you just operate from a place of, I assume that this is happening already, or that you're communicating, and I'm just totally in my own head, at that point, you'll start to just acknowledge and accept that there is a connection, and it will actually increase the likelihood that he can communicate with you.
I do massage and energy work for a living. So I get other people's loved ones coming to me.
Yeah.
So crazy. Like I'll massage a friend, and I will see a friend of ours who has passed in the room. And I'm like, why doesn't that happen? Like, it happens with everybody else.
Oh, girl, welcome to the club, because my family, like, it's harder for me to connect with my own loved ones who are in spirit than it is for other people. Just because, two reasons. One is, I know I'm going to see them again, so it's not like I'm dying to see them, literally, like, dying to see them. But when I die to see them, I'll die because I'm dying. So, but I think, but I'm not like obsessed with trying to see my family. I love them. I would like a visitation, and they pop in whenever they want to pop in. But it's not like they're coming around the way that it happens with other people's loved ones. That's just a given. It's just like, it's like when you're a tax person, your own family probably won't come to you for tax stuff, but other people will. It's the same thing. Same thing. People in my family don't usually come to me for readings and stuff. Some people do that are an extended family, but most of my people, my family don't come to me for readings. Other people do. It's just a given. It's like, yeah.
That's how it
Yeah.
kind of goes.
Yeah, and also because you are doing that kind of work, it's only going to amplify the absorption of people's energy as well. How are you releasing people's stuff after you're done with massage?
Oh, I do self Reiki every day. I meditate every day. I exercise. I have stones. I say I will not. I'm so affirmative on this is my energy.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
you can have a little of mine, just a smidgen.
Yeah. Have you thought about expanding your ability? Have you thought about expanding your business into mediumship?
No, and my one friend had recommended you when I was speaking to her about this, and she's like, "You need to follow Ferny.
Yeah. You need to, well, you follow for you need to, I think you need to turn this into a business and do this for a living as well. Because I went through like 15 years where my ability, I couldn't access it and I could not get it to switch on. And it was because I was creating the block myself by the assumptions and expectations that I had. Once I got it to trigger, it was because I was practicing and doing a Reiki on people and I was touching them and then it switched back on. And so I would create these packages where, because people didn't always have confidence in Reiki, they didn't know anything about it. So I was saying, hey, do you want to come for a reading? But I'll also do Reiki on you. And so that was my way of building up my business by packaging it that way. I would say for you, because you're a masseuse, and if you do Reiki, I would say offer options to package stuff like that so you can build a clientele base. Let's let them know and be honest with them. Hey, I'm still, figuring this out myself and I'm still getting better at it, but this is what I do. And that's it. And then ask for reviews and that will help to build you up. But I think you need to incorporate this into your business because the way they make me feel about you is that you need to be doing this as a profession, not just as something that's happening off the bat.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. You're welcome, my dear. Well, you take care of yourself. And I was gonna get this over. I'm like thinking I'm in like session with a client. So, all right, Mama. Well, take care. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. Have a good
You're
one.
welcome. Bye.
Bye. Oh, yay.
All right. Let's see. Hello.
Greetings.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. What do you want to ask me about?
Does my great grandmother Eulalia what does she have to say about me joining a spiritual tradition?
Yeah, so I keep seeing South America. Have you been to South America yet? Or Central America?
Not yet.
Okay. It's so interesting because she's almost like pulling you in that direction. So if there's an opportunity that comes up within the next 12 months for you to either travel or visit either Central America or South America, take advantage of it because this might offer you more ability to dive even deeper into what you're trying to do. There's 3 of them. Do you know there are 3 of them that were actually involved or followed this tradition?
No, I don't.
Okay, because she's showing me her and 2 others with her that may have been in this. It's the same family group, so she's acknowledging within the same family. There's 3 that may have followed the same tradition. Do you know if she did a lot? Thank you. I keep seeing it go to that out. Do you know if she did any work or did anything like that where she would help to cleanse energy or to do that?
I actually didn't know her.
Okay, that's okay. Do you know anything about her and what she would do?
No.
Okay. Here's the thing. This is not what you're experiencing or how you're practicing. This is something that is not just for you. Like others in the family have done this as well. And she says there's 3 in the family that have actually followed similar traditions. So there's something there to be aware of. And it would be hidden under like the idea of religion. So people would use religion as like a way to like mask it, but then they would operate in a different way. Have you been finding crystals or stones?
I've been purchasing some, but not finding
No,
them.
what she's doing is, thank you. Don't expect your power to come from the things you buy. Expect the power to come from nature because she's almost pushing you towards more nature connection and versus this is a crystal, it has power, versus this is a natural stone, it has power and connects me to nature in a different way.
Okay.
Sometimes when crystals are purchased in stores and places, they go through a lot of people handling them, and so they have to be properly cleansed, which I'm sure you already do yourself. But sometimes it's better just to work with like the natural elements and nature versus to try to like add this like air of mysticism or um, something that's got to be like very up in level. And I think sometimes people associate crystals with like this intensity versus like just stones in our surroundings. So just be aware of that. But 17. 7. July. Do you know there's a connection to the month of July, the 7th of a month?
No.
Okay, so I'm seeing that, so that means something. So you may need to check with the family because she showed me that number. So 7th of a month or the month of July is connected. So she's acknowledging that. She also keeps talking about the 2 boys. Do you know if she had 2 sons or if you're one of 2 boys?
She had yes, I believe she had 2 boys. Yes.
Okay, because she's acknowledging 2 boys. Do you know those would be your uncles, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wait, I'm sorry. This is your great great grandmother, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think she had like 2 brothers. Maybe I don't know if that's.
Does your grandma have 2 brothers?
If she did, they passed away.
Okay. She showed me the 2 boys. I'm thinking either she's acknowledging her 2 boys or you
I have
being.
2 boys.
Oh, you have to. Okay. Perfect. She's probably just acknowledging she knows of your 2 children or your 2 boys. So she's making reference to this. She also makes me feel, thank you. She also, have you been trying to write out, do you have a book with the strategies that you take?
No, but I have like 2 books that have to do with like curanderismo.
Okay. She's acknowledging the books, but she's almost making me feel like you need to make your own because every person's technique or strategy is unique to their own energy and power and what they connect with. You can't use somebody else's and think that's going to work the same. You have to create it and mold it into your own. So if you're going to take a strategy like that, change it up into what you will feel. This is what I did with Reiki when I used to do Reiki for people. Traditional Reiki was so boring to me and I was like wanted to fall asleep, which I always would go into this deep state, but I had to change it to make it work for me. It actually became much more effective and people were more reactive to it than that. So she's almost telling you, you need to kind of produce your own book where you can use your own way of doing things and not just follow other people's strategies.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, she's with you. She's with you. Also, I don't know if it's Melanie or Madi. Is there like a Melanie or Madi name connection there?
Doesn't ring a bell, no.
Okay. She's acknowledging a family member, and there's like a Marisol, Marisol. It's got a name like that. So there's a name association to this as well.
Okay.
So ask your mom, but she might know what she's talking about.
Okay. Nice.
All right, friend. Well, you take care of yourself.
All right. You too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's see. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let me cancel that. Let's try somebody else. Let's see. Five, 4.
Hello?
Oh, Brianna?
Yes.
Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You're not driving, are you?
No, I'm
Okay.
at my kids' football practice.
Awesome. Good. I was about to get on you. Awesome. Awesome. What do you want to ask me about?
I want to know if my mom has like any messages or guidance for me.
Yeah, so a few things about this. First of all, mom comes around with white doves and white feathers. Those are going to be a sign from her. So that's one. Secondly, were you more of like, I wouldn't say a brat as a kid, but were you real like you could be a pain in the ass?
I was the
Yeah,
troublemaker
that's
of
what
the family.
like a bitch. Yeah, so you're a little bitch. So
Yeah.
she's acknowledging that you are forgiven and stop worrying. If you were not the best daughter, she loves you no matter what, and nothing changes this. So she wants you to know this. She also says she's paying you back with your own experiences with your kids. So be prepared for that because she says that you're gonna.
Oh,
Yeah. So she's letting you know about this.
the
Yeah.
yeah, the
She's
youngest one is
yeah.
yeah.
She also says your kids have seen her, so they may have actually told you or may have had experiences where they've seen her. She also is showing me a tattoo, but it's almost like there's another person attached to the tattoo or there's another thing connected to it. Do you know there's a tattoo that includes something else in it with us aside from your mom?
Uh, that
What is that? Is that a rose? Oh,
it's
it's a
a
flower.
sunflower with her name.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So she's acknowledging the tattoo. What's the other tattoo for? The one right above hers or right next to hers?
It's my son's name that passed away.
Perfect. That's what she's talking about. Her tattoo next to something else as well. That's probably her way of acknowledging that she's got your baby with her. So that's probably her way of letting you know about that. Joan, Joe,
Junior,
I was gonna say Joey, but is there a Joey or Joey or Joey?
Junior,
Is that what y'all call him, Junior?
Junior. That's her son.
Oh, okay. I'm asking if that's it. Do you know if he's still alive though, right?
Mhm.
Do you know if he's got some legal issues or financial issues going on right now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, this is them. So she's acknowledging being aware of the situation. She's like, don't pray to me if you put yourself in the situation. You need to fix it. And that's the way she's coming across. Your mom is a little tough. Like she's like not playing around. Like
Oh,
she's like not having it.
she
So she's like coming
no.
for it. Okay, because she's like even in heaven, she's like, don't pray to me. You got to
I,
fix it
I
yourself.
could.
Yeah,
I imagine.
yeah.
Yeah.
She says that she's proud of you. Ooh, you know when mom loves someone, you know it. She loves you, and it's kind of hard for me to express how much she's making me feel for you. But she's really, really wanting to make sure I understand to tell you that she absolutely loves you. She also says stop putting up with other people's bullshit, and I think she's acknowledging a relationship. So if you got bullshit going down, she says stop putting up with it. She says you need to either needs to check the person and put them in their place, or just let it go and move on. And I think that's her way of dealing with it. She also says don't don't get bit by the dog and think that they're going to stop biting you because that's what they do. They bite you. And so she's almost acknowledging it in that way as well.
Okay.
Okay. She
Oh,
also says you shouldn't be put. Thank you. She says she shouldn't be putting your career or your opportunities and career aside for anybody.
okay. Yeah, that makes perfect
She
sense.
says you're nobody. You're nobody. Your mom? Did she like to cuss? Your mom like to cuss or curse?
Oh, that's all she was known
Okay, because
for
she was
was
like, "You're
cussing
no
at
one's
people.
bitch. You're no one's bitch." So it's almost like she's like wanting to make sure you like understand her, and she's like, "I wouldn't be putting up with this bullshit for no long time. You're nobody's bitch, and if you're gonna act like that, then that's your fault. That's your own damn fault for putting yourself." That's just how she's coming across to me. So she's just wanting to make sure that you take care of yourself, put yourself first, and that you don't let other people take advantage of you and put people in their place.
One more thing, and I'll
Mhm.
let you go, I promise. When she was passing away, I know she wasn't able to speak to me, but was she able to hear everything that I did tell
Yeah,
her? And
the
that she
two
knew I was there?
were the two of you in the room when she did this? When you told her, you
Mm-hmm.
talked to her, because she says there was two of you in the room, so she knows.
Yes.
She knows. Were you also doing this with her hand and like kind of doing this, like just doing this, mom, mama, 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 mama? Okay, because she keeps doing this, mama, 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 mama. She knows. She knows. Um, she's funny. She's like wanting to crack jokes and make fun of things. Did you give her a kiss? Okay.
Yes.
She's almost joking with that, and she's almost like I was she says I was in my deathbed and my breath smelled better, so it's her way of like messing with you. What she says when you gave her a kiss, she's like I was on the deathbed and I smelled better, so or my breath smelled better, so I think she's just messing with you, giving you a hard time. She's with you, sweetheart. She's with you. Okay.
Okay.
And don't worry about were y'all trying to bury her, but y'all weren't able to buy everything all up front, and y'all had to do things slowly.
It took me because I went down there and we had to do we had to like sell plates because we didn't know like
Yeah.
it was so sudden.
Yeah.
So
And were y'all not
it
able to
took
get
us
the plot right away? The little stone right away?
well. She got cremated, but it did take us a while to get her because I did everything Dallas Cowboy because she loved Dallas Cowboy. So
That's funny. Yeah. Well, she's just acknowledging what took y'all a while to get her stuff or to get that whatever it is, the plate or the I don't know the plate, but it feels like the mark. I think of it as a marker, but it just took y'all a while to get everything, and you just had to have her in something basic until everything was done. She's just acknowledging she's
yeah.
okay. Don't worry, I'm fine. Okay. She also thank you. She's lost weight. Was she trying to gain weight forever?
Actually, she gained weight. She had lupus, but she gained weight with her medication.
But
She
she's
gained it
showing
like
herself.
weight.
Yeah, she's showing herself to me. She says, "I'm back." So she's back. She's back to herself, Mama. Okay.
Okay.
All right, sweetheart. Y'all take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Welcome, sweetheart. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right, guys. I love you all. I'm out of time. I'm about to bounce off of here, take a quick break, and then I'm gonna be back for our study group time. And remember, today, what is it? We're doing what is the book? I forgot what we're doing study group. I didn't even look at my damn post because I don't even know what we're doing here. So yeah, anyways, I'll be back in about 10 minutes for a study group time, okay? I love you all. I will see you on Friday for those of you who are going to come back.